Hey, what's up, guys? The Strong Boys 19 here, and after a week off from this channel, I am back once again. I'm still busy for my guitar playing and practicing, but I thought I would just come back to the channel anyways to do another review of an album for Pink Floyd's discography. And the previous one I did was on Atom Heart Mother. Now we are going into, in my opinion, the beginning of the pinnacle career from this band with this 1971 masterpiece entitled Meddle. It is 46 minutes long and it has 6 tracks, and this is what I consider to be the first legendary Pink Floyd album. Lots of people would say Piper at the Gates of Dawn, which is a brilliant debut album, but this is an album that I would listen to so much more than that album. So, Meddle is the beginning of the golden era of Pink Floyd. After previous several albums of some weird experimentation with musical concrete and avant-garde stuff that the band hated, they have moved on from that, and the overall progress of the songwriting in later albums obviously went much more better and stronger than ever. So the overall album, what I think of it, it is one of the best Floyd albums, one of the top best, in the top 5 for sure, and it is one of my favourite albums ever. So let's just jump right into it. The opening track, One of These Days. Do I need to talk about this one a lot? Because everyone knows this track. Just begins at a very quiet pace, and then the thick bass guitar comes in with the delay effect and the bright shining sound of the keyboards, and the rest of the band comes in, and towards the end the whole thing explodes with excitement with some amazing delivery. You just cannot help but love it. It is a perfect track to begin the album from there. The next track, A Pillow of Winds. This is another one of these psychedelic folk tracks once again from the band, but I really like this one. It is beautiful, and the overall tone is so out there. You just feel positive and free once you hear the great simplicity of it. And the acoustic guitar sound is just wonderful. And with Gilmour's soft vocals, it just blends perfectly. And the next track, Fearless, is a track that some people would say that it is one of the best Floyd tracks, and I agree. It is really memorable. It has a very catchy hook, and the overall melody, the vocals, to everything about it is flawless. Absolutely brilliant track. Now we've come to the later tracks on the album, Tropez. Another track that's sung by Roger Waters, and some people wouldn't think of it as one of the best tracks on this album. I really do like it, and it is an underrated track because I've never heard or seen many people talking about this track at all, besides the obvious tracks on this album. But I really think that it is simple enough. It does have a simple and a smooth delivery, and I think it's just another outstanding track. And same with the next track, CMAs. which is a track that people would say it is not that good, or as the weakest song on the album. It's possibly the weakest song for me on this album, but it's nothing really too special or complicated, but I really do like the overall sound of it. Besides that, the listeners will get sick and tired of the overall repeating parts of the dogs barking over and over and over again. It's not a long track, it's just 2 minutes long, and the structure of the track is pretty much like a 12-bar blues track with not much lyrical content. Acoustic guitars once again with some slide guitar at various places, and I think it's just a great fitting enough track to finish off the first half of the album. But what comes next, this last track to finish off the last half of it, Echoes, a 23-minute epic. Without a doubt, it is a track that really needs no introduction at all. It is in my top 5 favourite Pink Floyd tracks of all time, and the beginning is mysterious. Well, the overall playing from Richard Wright is just mysterious, and the ambient sound is spooky, and it is another one of these positively great and one of the strongest completing parts to the track, along with the overall melody and the harmonizing from both David Gilmour and Richard Wright. The vocals are spot on, and towards the ambient stuff from Richard's playing, it gets funky at some parts, and it includes Gilmour's hectic, over-the-top playing with a lot of effect, and it became so wild, then it quietens down from the keyboards, and then the sound begins to be quiet again like the introduction, then it just builds up and the same melody explodes, and the track itself is just a masterpiece in its own way, and it is a track for me that I consider it to be one of the most pinnacle, landmark, golden, progressive rock tracks of all time. Just like other tracks from different prog rock bands like Genesis, King Crimson, Yes. And without Pink Floyd, there wouldn't be a track like this that is so wild and complete in its own way. You just can't help but love it. The production of this album is really great as well, top notch. Mixing as well. The overall sound from the instrumentation is just incredible, and I just love Meddle so much, and it's just an album that needs no introduction at all. For those who want to get into Pink Floyd, I would recommend this album first, not the Dark Side of the Moon, because even though that is a classic, I find that album to be really obvious to start off your interest to Pink Floyd, but Meddle definitely needs to be one of the first Pink Floyd albums that I would recommend to you for those who are interested in this band. So that's all I've got to say about Meddle by Pink Floyd. As for an album rating, I'm going to give it the highest rating I could give it, a 10 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching, and I will keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.